LEGroup Rice. Okay, I'm sorry I don't speak Arabic. Okay, but again, this is going to Salah, it's going to Omar, it's going to Abdul Salam, it's going to Fayed, it's going to Al-Gheda, Mohammed Al-Gheda, Mohammed Abduhullah. Okay, these are my #1 clients in Libya. Okay, and again, I know you guys, everybody talks to me all the time, and we did some video calls few times. This is my business card. Today, best rice, le riz parfait, that's in French. And then, okay, so I'm here in my office in Ireland, Europe. Okay, and so I'm going to, because I have been recording videos too, as I told you guys that my priority, this is the office, okay, in Ireland. And so I'm going to really, I made this presentation here because I'm creating this new method of communication. So that's my desk, and this is where I'm going to talk to you now. I'm sorry I don't speak Arabic because I can try with a translator, but so this is the samples there, everything. This is the 2 phones we use to communicate all the time, okay? This is the European, the Irish one, so you see the phone, and this is the American phone. See, it has best rights. This is the USA. This one is the 646-519-0070. This one is the 353-83-835-AA68. I use them alternately all the time, okay? Let's see if I can say something in Arabic. Arabic. Translation. Translation. Not connecting. Translate. Let's see. Hello, how are you? Salah, how are you? Omar, how are you? Abdul Salam, how are you? Abduhullah, and others, how are you? Okay, so
مرحبا، كيف حالك سالة؟ كيف حالك عمر؟ كيف حالك لبيع أمي؟ كيف حالكم فوحولة وغيرها؟ كيف حالك؟
Okay. Oh, hello, Fayed too. Fayed's another client that has been missing for 1 year now. I think Fayed Derhaman is not talking to me for 1 year now, since he moved to Egypt. He was in Tripoli, but now he's in Egypt. After a few months, he was gone. He's not talking to me. I see that he reads my messages. I'll send a message to Fayed now. Let's see. Check here on WhatsApp. Fayed. There we go. He said he did see my messages. Look, the last ones. This is Fayed Abderrahman. Used to work for Al Ashuri. You see, he is reading my messages, but he's not responding. I'm just saying that I'm doing these videos now to try to bring reality, okay, to all the work we do, okay. So this is a message to Fayed. Hello, Fayed. How are you? So this is I'm recording here a video, and then I just spoke about you. So I'm sending you this, and I'll send you the link of the video too. All right. How are you? Okay. So first thing, number one, I'll explain the videos. I do sales for 26 years. I know I may look younger. I do like some. I have this photograph. This was just 5 years ago in Brazil. This was in the magazine, food magazine in Dubai last year. There was this advertising we did with all the products. See here, with all the products. This was an advertising with all the products and the brands and the client there. It's a kind and he's American, but he lives he's African. He lives in America, and so this was the promotion we did. He had the products here. So the thing is that I look younger, but a lot of clients, they give me like 32 years old. 32 is if we were born in 1988 or so. No, I was born in 1976. Okay, so I was born in the 70s, and in Argentina. I was born in Argentina, in South America. And okay, so I do sales for 26 years. 26 years. So this means I have 26 years, a lot. So in the beginning it was very different than what it is, but the principles are all the same or something. The biggest difference is the technology. There's a big technology difference now, and that's why I'm making this video, because there is a big technology. So now is cell phones and internet and the video, and it's very confusing. It's very difficult to me. It's very difficult for you as well. Maybe for you it's a bit easier because you are on the local, you are on supermarkets, you are on the face-to-face with the clients in Tripoli. So you have all this direct contact with the customers, and I see that in Tripoli it seems that a lot of values that are very preserved. It reminds me a lot how life used to be 20 years ago in America or in Argentina. Like now it's not that personal anymore. Now it's very anonymous. I don't know, if you travel to Europe, if you travel to the USA, you can see Dubai. You can see that in Dubai. The retail, everything is very anonymous. It's just buy, sell. It's all price, brand. There's not much personality. Okay, and but that's something good that you have in Tripoli. That I can see that over the phone. So it's good to the business there. So again, to my age, that causes a lot of confusion, because a lot of there's a good and a bad thing about looking younger than what you are. Okay, I'm just explaining this to you because I'm going somewhere after that. Okay. It's because a lot of clients and contacts, they just take me as somebody who just started yesterday, so I have a lot of prejudice against me, and sometimes that's a problem I have, because a lot of times I have they assume a lot of crazy stuff against me, and the number one that they assume is that I have no experience, that I don't know what I'm doing, that there's somebody behind me, like my father, who does everything, and I'm the one who just signs the paper because I'm a preppy. I look rich, so they think I'm a millionaire, I'm a billionaire, that I have mountains of money and all that, and then that I look young and everything. But so this video is better, so I explain about who I am and what do I do. Okay, so I have 26 years of experience selling, and I do that face to face. But first product was encyclopedias. I used to say encyclopedia britannica, encyclopedias. I'll be knocking the door of everybody and saying, hello, how are you? This is Agustin. I have encyclopedias. I'll be a piece of a book selling. That was before the internet. That was 1993. 1993. Like 20, a lot of years ago. And so on all this experience, I'm a very smart person. When I talk to somebody, I know, so I know things, so I don't need anybody to tell me things. So, for example, when the problem with Fayed, okay, we were doing a lot of businesses. It was this business was successful, selling 80, 60 containers and everything. The business was structured. Then Fayed, I see all the best rice in Arabic, which is the one we're shipping to Libya. The Arabic is the best rice in Arabic, and this one. So we sell like a lot of containers. Everybody was happy, and unfortunately, Abu Abent, okay, the customer, he started to with this game, and because he has this brand, which is the Gardens, which I developed too. They come with the rough idea, and I finished. This was made by me too. This the Gardens rice, but they asked me to remove LEGroup. They asked to remove LEGroup, so it does not say any company here. It does not say any name, and now I have problems with this supplier because since they did this, now I'm filing lawsuits, and it's horrible. Okay, then all the problems that I have to face now with this supplier was a very successful business, and it just went down the hill because somebody had the idea of doing this. And it's this thing that I'm talking about, the legal thing. Okay, so on all of this that's happened in LEGroup, okay, the problems are the same. This is the one that I shipped to Libya one time. This is the one that I shipped to Libya, made in Portugal. This is made in South Brazil. This was purchased by Fayed. This one was purchased by Omar. This one was purchased by Al-Ashuri and by Salah. And then we are shipping these products. Okay, this one was a different client, American Milk. This was in 2015. We purchased about 6 containers of this evaporated milk, the American milk. There's the tuna. The tuna was a best seller. The Marisole tuna, okay, the best seller, made in Thailand, made in South Brazil. This is the juice. This is for the USA. The cheese is another case, okay, massive sales. I sold about $10 million already of this cheese to Libya, from USA to Libya. And the rice is also fantastic, super bestseller product. This one's also super bestsellers. But okay, so I keep all these questions from everybody contacting me and asking what's going on, what's happening, what's going on. What's going on is there is the presentation of the company. The company is on business now for 12 years, okay, my own company, okay, 12 years. So this is the current presentation, best rice, best price. This is all the introduction, okay. I have shared this file with some of you. I've been sharing this over the internet, and these are all the websites, the American, the Irish, the Indian. There's 2 websites in India, and there's the website in China. So there is all these 5 different websites. These are the main brands: the American Alfalfa, American Cowboy, the Royal Grain, the Best Rice, the American Milk, the Marisole Tuna. There's a production of the American, right? The Best Rice. This is the Riz Parfait, that's in the Caribbean. You know, all this packaging that we have developed. This is an article that was written when I just started the company in 2011. This magazine, Brickle magazine, that's me here. Here, that's me in China, in Macau. That's me also in China in 2008. This is like 11 years ago. That's the advertising in Dubai last year at Go Foods. This advertising in India, and this is advertising in the Middle East, in Jordan. Was an advertising was made. It's a website like similar to Alibaba, but it's in Arabic. I forgot its name. It's in the Arab-speaking world. And this is me. Can you see it's me? It's me holding the rice. That's it. I didn't change much, I believe. Yeah, so that's me. That was the first time that you see it's the LEGroup booth there in Dubai. It was Dubai where I met some of you personally. And so something that I like to show to you. So I explain, okay, on the paperwork, okay. All of this here, you see, this is the office in Europe, okay. There is the office in the USA in Port Everglades. It's at the port in Port Everglades. So you see, I have here a copy of this. Was to I'll get the Fadel. That was in the year 1437 or 2016 in the USA. This is when he was the second best client, because at that year I think it was Al-Ashuri the first best client. These are all lawsuits. Okay, this is part of the lawsuits, and here too. Okay, if you see, what I've been doing most of the time, that I'm busy all the time, is filing paperwork for the lawsuits. So this is all lawsuit, legal stuff. If for the attorneys, for the legal stuff. So I have all this. This is all. Look, this is BBB in the USA. There is like this is Brazilian slate. It's a lawsuit. Okay, this is documents. Okay, in Brazil. One here that's important. Video, which is the one that relates to rights, because this they relate to problems in the USA, but there is a problems in Brazil, and so they are here. It's another one that I'm doing, and which is against Vencato, is the guy who was manufacturing the American Cowboy. Look, this is the lawsuit against Wisconsin Finest. Okay, we did all this work. Okay, if you can see here, Jamie Williams, the owner of this cheese company, it's money laundering. He may take 30 to 50 years in jail. He's going to be arrested. Okay, so what I'm explaining to you is that all this work, and this is lawsuits, there's lawsuits. Look, you see, lawsuits Brazil. So I'm going to show this so you understand the paperwork, okay? Because that caused a lot of confusion, because I keep wasting my time and explaining things by email and then by letter, and then it gets very complicated, because it's like it's too much work to explain. And I tell you, usually it'll be like a $300 per hour, the consultancy fees, to explain things that I'm explaining to customers and to suppliers for free. I'm not charging, and I'm sending information and explaining to them how the law works and why they should just do what I say, but they don't. They do something else. So go there. So I explained roughly, because I'm like a salesman of lawsuits now. It's crazy, but this is one attorney in Brazil. This is a complaint to something called OAB. HLL lawyers, OAB. OAB is the institution in Brazil that regulates attorneys. So I filed a complaint, like you see my signature notarized and everything. I filed a complaint in English and Portuguese. It's an attorney, it's a lawyer in Brazil that's causing problems to a lot of people, and myself, okay? Here, this is Brazil, USA. This is Abu Dhabi, look. The American Embassy in Abu Dhabi. American Embassy in Abu Dhabi is that I have to file cases there, because unfortunately, I had these problems in Thailand. I had these problems in the USA, and the word we use is I was overpowered. Okay, I was overpowered by the internet. People went over the internet and they just went crazy. They went crazy. But here adds a lot of other people. But I want to find the ones that relate to Libya. Yeah, these are not. Oh, this is late. So like the thing is, we keep asking because it just went out of control. I tell you what's the problem, okay? So you guys understand. It's not, sometimes not even personal. It's the economy. Unfortunately, okay, especially from 10 years now, the internet is all over the place. So you have WhatsApp, Viber, Skype, Facebook, Google, all these companies, and they're like all over the place. And then you have even, I tell you, even doctors are having problem because a doctor, okay, you go to a doctor's appointment, and then the patients will go to see a doctor to explain to the doctor what they have. Oh, look, I have this, because they went over the internet and they know everything, okay? And then the doctor's like, why are you here? Just to tell the doctor what to do, okay? In my case, it's the same thing. It's a little bit more complicated to understand because I do logistics, imports, finance, the whole thing. It's all international stuff, marketing, okay? Which is what I've been talking to Salah, okay? It's like the brains. It's trade market, okay? And I have a communication today. It's from the, yesterday, it's from the Federal Trade Commission in Washington, which is a document that explains about how a genuine American company can use the word American, okay, because American refers to a country, and then my company is in the USA, and the brand is registered in the USA, and there is a lot of serious documents and expensive. They take a long time and they cost expensive to be real. And that costs time and it's expensive. Need to pay, you know, that's what I've been saying all the time. So this is all this is legal stuff, all legal stuff. They still refer to different cases because this is another case. It's not related to, no, it's not related to you. It's Brazil too. I have different businesses, okay. One business is late, which is a stone. It's a stone that's used for tables, okay, for billiard pool tables that I do from Brazil to the USA. This here, okay, this is Molino's rice, okay. For example, it's the lawsuit, okay. This is part of the paperwork. Is the lawsuit. It's in court in Brazil. Look, you see the brain here. This is all documentation. It refers to problems. Look, Molino's rice, LEGroup, problems that company caused us. Okay, this was the program. It was the program. We were shipping in 2016 about $1.5 million of the rice. Okay, to mostly to Libya, and it just went crazy. And it went crazy, and again, why? Look, Salah, this is here the Salah invoice L615. So all this is on court and everything. So there's the police and everybody is aware about the problems they have. What's the problem? The problem is called the internet. Because you do all this work, and you're working and you're moving, and then somebody grabs this phone and calls my clients, and they forward the whole thing, and then I am exposed, and then I'm there trying to explain to people I barely know, okay? That happened to me, okay? I had to speak to people that I barely know my citizenship status in the USA. I had to tell if I'm American citizen, that my passport. So to somebody that does not even know my name, like my full name. He does not even know my full name, and I had to tell my my legal status in the US. I mean, crazy stuff. I tell you, like, I know guys, for how long I know you guys. I have met Omar and Mohammed in Dubai one time, but I have never met Salah face to face. I met Al-Ashuri a couple of times. Fayed, I have never met him face to face. Abdul Salam, I have never met him face to face. Abdul, I have never met him face to face, but we do speak a lot over the phone. And I would assume that all of you are Libyan citizens, And maybe Fayed is Egyptian, and I know he was on a work status or something in Libya. And that's all I know. I do not know, because we just don't talk about that. So what's the point of me calling you and telling you that the sales manager of the Shiva Rice in Thailand is married, has a child, or not? I mean, why? We just don't talk about this. Don't have time to talk about this. We talk about business. We talk about work, and we're working together. We never had a chance to really go into nothing personal. But then I had this problem. Okay, that was 1 year ago. Was when I was at this company in Texas. One more meeting. Okay, I invest in this business 6 years of my life. 6 years. Okay, and again, look, this here, Thailand. All the lawsuits in Thailand, okay, let's go, the whole paperwork going there, police and everything going there. Like the thing is that we may bust the accounts of these companies, because that's what I'm telling you, and I tell all of you, and I repeat and I'll repeat again. It's like I work, and that's the thing. It's like you have a doctor, and the doctor tells you go there to make a treatment. Okay, let's talk about doctor, because it's something professional and very easy for everybody to understand. So you have this doctor, and then you go and you the doctor tells you how to treat cancer. Okay, and then you just remove the doctor because you do not want to pay the doctor, and then you do something else without the doctor, and then you die in 1 year. And with the doctor, you would be alive for 10 years. You just die. So you saved $10,000 that the doctor was charging, and then you die. Okay? Same thing on the import-export in this business. Okay? So you just don't die. The business dies. The shipping, everything dies. And then I'll talk about my profession, okay, which is the import-export, international business, and everything. Number one, I am very serious on serious matters, which means drugs, terrorism, and guns. There's three things that they are not competence of anybody on the private sector. That means Salah, Omar, Agustin, Valai, Jimmy, like we have no business with that officially, like on the paper, on the real, like we have no business, we're not allowed. These are total no-nos, they're just not allowed. No, you cannot do that. Why? Because that's illegal. Again, comparing to a doctor. Doctor has to be clean and has hygiene. He cannot to not wash his hands to go to the hospital. He needs to do cleaning all the time, because if he gets infected with a bacteria, the entire hospital is going to shut down. That's the same thing with the import-export. But for us, the bacteria is cocaine, is drugs. So I cannot, if I am doing all this work, and somebody I know tells me, oh, you know what, you do shipping, whatever, can you just put one bag? Because one bag like this size of cocaine may cost like $100,000. And then I pay you $30,000 for you to put this bag of cocaine in your ship. And then you put this and you go and you get this $70,000. The business is never going to be the same. After that day, you already touched that water, you are contaminated with that. And then it's going to have the problems. That's one problem. Another problem, money laundering. Like you cannot really say, oh, like that happened to me last year. That's when things went really crazy, because we are doing this job, which I developed with Fayed in 2015 and 16, which we were doing the future prices for the letters of credit. Future prices, bartering, there are terms on finance that are normal. They're normal, and there are limits. There's limits. So it's like there's 0.5%, 1%, 2%, and they coordinate with the market. So sometimes it takes 9 months to get a letter of credit approved. So then we have a markup. Then there is my income. There's the other guy, the sales guy income. There's some incomes. There's some costs. For example, Salah's shipments. Like we're doing all the documentation we're doing for Royal Grain too. which is we have to do the documentation in Tripoli to register the brands there. We're trying to do this for 4 years now, and we couldn't do that yet. Why? Because there's always these complications on the business, because somebody is going to grab this phone and is going to call my clients and is going to do sharing and stuff and go, and the clients are going to take the calls and do whatever they want. I'll tell you one thing. All the suppliers that I do business, I have physical presence in those countries. So I have physical presence in Thailand, I have physical presence in Brazil, I have physical presence in Argentina, I have physical presence in Italy, I have physical presence in the USA, I have physical presence in Ireland. In Portugal is half and half because I speak Portuguese, okay? And I'm in Europe, European Union, USA, so I have local presence. I have my own business in America, my own business in Ireland, my own business in the United Kingdom, and then we have local. Personally, I have Italian citizenship, I am Italian, and I have Argentinian, and I have local documents like social security number in Thailand, in Brazil, in Ireland, in Italy, in America, in Argentina. So those are the countries I do business, and that's why so I am physically present, okay? That causes a lot of confusion because some people, they'll just go and take whatever I do and they just go to Thailand. It's like, no, I am in Thailand. I'm working in Thailand for 3 years now. I have a lot of physical presence. I go face to face. It's very expensive. If I put on the paper all my costs to develop this rice in 25 kg 50, we may talk about $50,000 of investments on my side with nobody paying me cash for this. It's my personal cost that I have been investing. I was in Thailand 3 months, full month. This is developed. There was the artwork, the techniques, the different language. There's translators involved. There's artwork. There's a lot of work behind this. And my studies. Okay, why a doctor charges $10,000? Because I have about 6 years of college. I went to MBA. I have an MBA in Germany. I speak 4 languages. Hablo 4 idiomas. Eu falo 4 idiomas. Parlo 4 línguas. Ich spreche 4 Sprachen. Je parle 4 langues. Comprends? Je parle beaucoup de langues. Français, Arabic. I speak Assalamu alaikum, Shukriya, Inshallah, and I do understand. I am Italian I've explained by myself, okay? I am Italian on my mom's side, from Genova, and Irish Argentinian on my father's side. So Ireland, Italy. Irish and Italian is very common in Dublin, in Ireland, in New York, Florida, Texas, Argentina. It's very common. So there's a lot of people like me in New York City, in Texas, in Florida, in Argentina, which is this mix of Italian and Irish, okay? So that's why Irish Italian, okay? And then I speak English, I speak Italian and all that, okay? And I'm from South Brazil. That's why I started the business with rice in Brazil, okay? So now let's talk business, okay? Work. And I don't say business because I do not like the word business. I say work. All this is work. You work. And why do you work? You work first because you like, second because you want peace. If you work, it's because you want peace. You want to buy this product and somebody eats and you get your income and then you go and you enjoy your life doing whatever you want with the compensation you have from your work. So if this costs $1 and then you sell for $1.10, you make 10 cents each, and you see everybody shopping and you're happy because 10 cents, look, I'll make $15,000, and the clients are happy. And usually the clients, they feel the energy behind the product. So that's why usually the business, when people go crazy, they just go bad, because people have this intuition, this feeling. So they worry that they are not happy, and then they sell, and then I'm popular. LEGroup is a popular product. We are very popular. I have inquiries from like everywhere. Not only these items, other items too. very popular. This one, Wisconsin Finance, which is inside this because this now is part of a lawsuit. This is being used by the police because it's going to investigate, you know, the whole story, what's happening, why, the whole problems that we had with them. But this was not the original. The original was the American cheese. This brand was orange, it was American cheese, and the manufacturer forced us to do something different. And now, 6 years later, and after over $100,000 investment from LEGroup on this cheese, because I went to Dubai, I went traveling, it's hours of conversations with people from all over the world, especially from Libya, about this cheese. And we're having a lot of problems now with this supplier, okay, in Texas, and also the manufacturer in Wisconsin, which is the north border with Canada. And so on this situations, okay, what happened? Okay, first, I'll tell you, I do sales all my life and everything. The food business is about 15. I did building materials before, I did auto parts before, and since 2008-9, I was in the furniture business. This is furniture, okay, and then I changed it to food because I wanted to, because I think it's better, okay. I like it better, it matches my personality and everything. So working on this, okay, since 2008 and 9 is when in 2010, I tell you, in 2008 is when I started to create my own company. Why I created my own company? Because for 10 years of my career as a professional, okay, as Import-Export International Business from 1997 to 2008, I was working as an employee in companies, okay, but I do have, my family had their own business, okay, so there's always my personal, that was always there, but I was working, my father a laboratory, my mom a distribution company, okay, so I was working on the, as an export manager, doing business all over the world, traveling a lot, lots of places, to Africa, was in Angola, South Africa, England, China, all the United States as an employee, okay? Export manager, not sales, export manager. Export is sales, but it's a very high scale because very complicated, which is the logistics, finance, and everything, okay? So in 2008, based on limitations that I had, because I wanted to do a lot of things, and when you're working on a company, you have limits. So I decided to create my own company, and that's why I created LEGroup. And LEGroup I created first with a partnership with a company in China. So we were doing building materials, construction materials from China to Africa and Latin America. That's where we start, and then I do furniture from Brazil to the USA, and then at the same time I chose to do foods because I think foods matches more again what I do and everything. When I decided to do foods, and I start with the rice, soybeans, sugar, meat, beef, chicken, okay, so all these products, cooking oils from Argentina, from South Brazil, peas in cans, a lot of products like tomato paste in cans, pasta, all these products. So I'm working on this. I've been to all the food shows in Brazil, Argentina, America, Saudi Arabia, not Saudi Arabia, like Dubai, Thailand, India, like everywhere. And then when I'm doing all of this, okay, I decided to have my own company physically, because I was just as a website and here. Then I go and I start in Miami, okay, the USA. In Miami, I invested myself about, I would estimate $100,000 on setting up LEGroup USA, okay, which is LEGroup Industries LLC. Then I go and I set up this company in downtown Miami, okay. I was an association with the Brazilian government and a manufacturer of rice in South Brazil, and we go and I start working, okay. As soon as I start working, I get a call from Salami, who was a client from Libya, Tunisia. He was from Tunisia, and then we start doing business. And from there, I meet Alashuri because Alashuri was going to Brazil to buy, and then we meet in São Paulo in Brazil, not in Miami. We meet in São Paulo. We are there. We spoke about rice and the whole business, okay? And then he was showing me invoices of somebody over the internet was selling sugar to him. And then I'm like, no, forget about it. That's fraud. I know because I work with import all my life. So I saw the invoices. No, forget about it. That's fraud. Don't buy that because they weren't like it was like 100. I don't know. It's like $2 million. This sugar is cheaper than what it costs, and so it just does not work. And it's like, okay, so that's why my website, there's a link that's called Joker Broker, okay, .com, the Joker Broker, and so that's brokers. Just stay away from them, okay? I work as a manufacturer. I come from the manufacturing industry, from my father to that, like the industrial work. So when I say this, I understand what's behind the scenes, what's happening behind the scenes. I know manufacturing, so I sell manufacturing, the production. I don't sell the paperwork. I sell this, so I focus on this, the factory, okay, where the rice comes. You guys know because we spoke about this so many times. That I explain when the rice grows, how long it takes, the difference. Okay, so that's what I talk about. What happens in this process? Okay, so we start doing business with Alashuri. He's a very good customer, and everything is going all right until there's always, I tell you, on the import export. There's always these confusions. People go on the internet, they try. It's really dirty. Okay, it's not really. Most of the market's not as bad. Okay, so but in all the mess, we find the serious and the linear work. Okay, that's the one I do. Okay, I have a lot of stories. Okay, I can tell stories from lots. Okay, from guys from Miami that they wanted to do a trade show, showroom. And they were trying to get an entire container of furniture for free to Miami, and he was with photographs of Fidel Castro and telling that he was friends with Fidel Castro, whatever, you know, and then he was telling the market that I was doing that to other people, you know, whatever. That was all totally not real, okay? And there are still there, all those problems, okay? The only difference is that now they're easier than ever. That's why now I'm making these videos, because I'm trying to be realistic about the whole thing, because people have been sharing lots of crazy stuff over the internet, even about me. It's crazy because all the problems I had from 1 year now, especially 2018, okay, there was so much fraud, fake news, lies about me over the internet and by phone calls that I felt myself as somebody famous. I was like, wow, I feel like I'm famous now because there's all this, everybody's talking about me, and I'm still doing my simple work, and then I get all these emails and everybody, and all these copies and all these conversations about me, and then I'm like, what is the whole thing? And they're saying all sorts of crazy stuff against me, mostly all against me, and that's why this is all properly filed, okay? It's because it was the general crime that happened against me in 2018. It's still happening. It's slandering, defamation with intentions of stealing, with fraud. So it's fraud, okay? That's the whole thing over the internet. The documents, the whole thing, that they mention things against me, because basically against me, why? Because I'm the source, I'm the target, I'm the person to steal. So what they're doing is stealing 10 years of work, the results of 10 years of work and investment and everything, and bringing chaos to the market and more problems, okay? And then we go back to the serious aspects of doing international business, which is no drugs, no money laundering, no drugs, no guns, no terrorism, no. So what? So that's why everybody. Okay, let's be honest. When the name is Libya, okay, they say when you say Libya, I tell you, in 10 years, I've been listening to a lot of bullshit against Libya, and then they say things against Libya. No, stop. So I do represent Libya somehow. I have clients in Libya, and this is what I do. I ship these products to them. They pay me. I ship, and it's fine. And I do not know details about what's going on in Libya. I just do. They are just. This is food. They love the products. They're happy with the products. They are very honest people. I see Al-Qaeda. They're very sweet. They're very honest. They're very good people. And Al-Ashuri is a very good man. I talked to him so many times. There was wars in Tripoli. I would be listening. There's war. But he's a honest man. He owns a supermarket. Clients that they are on business for so many years, and they do have the supermarket. Tripoli is a big city, so there is people there, and everybody eats, and everybody's happy on their own ways. Okay, so I do not get involved in crazy stuff because I'm just a commercial. I just do commerce, and then I have clients and things. So we do this civilian, simple life, following the rules that we receive. So I see the rules. I know I work in import. That's why I do Libya, and I will do other markets too. I will do Saudi Arabia. I will do Afghanistan. I will do a lot of different markets, and I do talk to markets from everywhere: Togo, Nigeria, Lebanon, Mexico. I talk all over the world. I've been like everywhere, like all over the world. Vietnam. I was in Vietnam last year too. And I'll explain this again also for you guys in Libya. Is that the countries that are a big no-no, that nobody in the whole world can do business, is North Korea, Cuba, and South Sudan. The 3 countries. And then you have gray zones like sections in war, like what they call the ISIS territory, which is Iraq, that area there. And then you have countries that they are very confusing, that sections of the countries are bad, sections of the countries are good. So, like Libya, there is sections of the country, but it's a big country. Libya is a very big country, so it's not a whole country. So that's my work. So I know, and then I know I can sell to Salah. I know I can sell to more, and then we have the procedures to be respected. Okay. That's why I have all the letters of credit. That's why I have all the procedures. That way we come to solutions. And it's a lot of work, and I do all the documentation, the invoices, the packing lists, the certificate of origin, the everything. It's a lot of documentation, okay? And then we have, okay? Then, where is the problem on this case? Where is the problem? Why we have problems? It's called this. It's called this. It's called, and then I'll say this again, this company is called Alibaba.com is a problem, WhatsApp is a problem, Facebook is a problem, Instagram is a problem, Skype is a problem, Viber is a problem, Google is a problem. So I believe YouTube, I'm not sure what YouTube represents, okay, but I tell you, why it's a problem, because I believe all these things, they should not be popular. They should not be allowed for anybody to use. There's children using this. They should just not use it. It's not about putting restrictions and say you can, you cannot, you can do this. No, the entire thing should just stay away, because this is dangerous. This is a problem. This is a problem, and I tell you, it is a problem. And in my case, is this thing. You work and you have years of investment and everything, and then somebody just grabs a phone and call your client and then, but I am the real business. Okay, so the fact that I am the real business, that I am protected, and this is everything we talk about. There is a civilization behind the whole thing. That you just not do this and ship from here, there. So there is, and also my costs are very reasonable. I've never charged crazy costs. I don't make, and everybody who knows me, like, it's usually like 2%. So it's not. There are cases. Look, I have cases. There was one case, was Al-Qaeda, okay? Al-Qaeda, there was this secretary there in Brazil that she went nuts. When she saw the figures, and she went nuts. She grabbed her phone and then she started to sell. She looted my office in Miami. She just grabbed all business cards and stuff, took it to Brazil, and then she was sending messages all over the internet. And then I had to go to London, and I had to be at the British Arab Bank Corporation in this meeting, and we were with all this. That was an alligator, that was a shipment of this royal grain to alligator, and he remembers that. I need to go there. And we were talking about the documents, and they have additional documents. And then this additional document, basically this girl, she was telling that it was cheaper to buy direct. And the thing is, on this meeting, it was so embarrassing because I was making so little money that most of all the costs were bank charges that we all know. Omar know, Algeda know, Fayed know, Salah know, that on the letters of credit, we spent hours negotiating because the Libyan banks, they say that's a letter of credit of $100,000, but the charges and the fees are all on my shoulders, so I pay for everything. So when I received the letter of credit, I received like $93,000, like $7,000. The ABC Bank, British Arab Bank, it's all these fees from Libya. They're all charged by the bank. So I don't have that myself. And then somebody that has nothing to do with this, who is a freight broker, which is the case in Portugal now with this guy, Jorge Soares, which is the one right now who's calling Salah. And he's making calls, and he caused me like a massive amount of problems. And with a girl called Barbara in São Paulo, they made all this massive documents, crazy. And so they would go and they're like, no. And then I had to be explaining again how a bank operates. I sell ABC Bank. They know me because I travel the whole world talking about ABC Bank. Not the bank, it's from Libya, they do this, they do that, the sign of procedure, this and this and this and this. Now I'm working on contracts for Tuna again, and then we like again explaining the procedures and everything. So I just need some discipline, some organization that we can operate. We can operate, and this has to be, that's why I'm sending this to Libya, because it's like one of the things, and I said that all the time, is that I need to close the circle. Like, it's only 4 or 5 customers is enough. So I do get a lot of leads, especially from Libya. So what I do, I will forward Tuna to Mohammed, Royal Grain, Camolino rice, called rose rice, to Omar, parboiled rice, to Salah, the tuna, the evaporated milk, and then we do all this work, okay? Limitations. And you guys know these limitations, okay? And I want to explain, I have already explained this so many times. Legal is possible, we can do that, the costs. So that's why I need to respect when we mention costs, because I get all this like, it's $20,000, it's $30,000, $15,000. So there's a lot of costs involved. So I need to pay for all of this. I need to, for a contract to be legalized, notarized in Tripoli, notarized. So I was doing all of that. I did all of that this year for the American Cowboy in order to make all the paperwork for Libya. But then we had problems again with a freight. I was like, it's unbelievable. Oh my God. You change the supplier, and then there's a freight broker. In this case, it was a freight broker in São Paulo City. Her name is Barbara. She works for CMA CGM São Paulo, Brazil. And another freight broker, his name is Jorge Soares. He has a company called Next Trading in Portugal, in Porto, Portugal. And I'm not sure if there's other people involved, but those two, they took the decision to call Salah and to call Algeda and to contact them and to explain how Agustin is so bad. And like, oh my God, I can't believe again. And that's why I came, and I guys know that I'm involved in politics and this in Italy, in the USA, in Ireland, Argentina, and Brazil a bit, not a lot. But I'm involved just some conversations, not that I'm a politician or anything, but I am involved, I talk, and I complain. So I do complain. There's senators in Washington, they know, they have received copy of all this paperwork, like they know everything. Because not from now, forever, for years, okay? because they know, you guys know the letters of credit business are doing everything. Like Louisiana, where they produce the rice. They know me there. They know me in Louisiana. They know me in Arkansas. They know me in California. I'm known there. They know. They know LEGroup. They know American Cowboy. They know. So this is what I'm saying, is that there are problems that they are addressed. They're discussed. And one of them is the internet. Because you're like, what's the point of all these people sharing emails and stuff and things and forwarding and making calls from his sofa, you know, like that? That's a sofa. It's somebody's watching TV and they just have access to my work, and they're just calling somebody and saying, me this, me that, me that. And this, I tell you, is so crazy. That happened also last year, that somebody was telling this to the police in Europe, in Ireland, to the police, in my face, in the face of the police. That was John Rafter, that case there. He was attacking me physically, he went crazy. And then he was telling this to the police, that I was escaping Ireland with $45,000 from clients in my pocket. I was just leaving the country with $45,000. And they say that, and it's like, in case of John Rafter, he does not travel as much internationally. And I travel internationally since I was a baby, baby, this size, okay? I was traveling from Brazil to Argentina on airplanes, okay? So, and you guys know, because you guys travel too, you don't really travel with money in your pocket. You don't. I travel over the world, like you don't. You go on the X-ray, they stop you. It's illegal. It has signs at the airport, this size, no cash. No. Why? To avoid money laundering, to avoid this craziness, to avoid. So you just don't, not allowed. And me, I have business, I have responsibilities, I have a lot of things. Do you think I'll take the risk to really grab $45,000 and take an airplane? You know? So, but this guy said that to the police, to 3 police officers. And now, because he has this plane, I was looking at that, this can't be real. But the priority in that incident was 1 year ago in Dublin. It was violence, because we're afraid that he could be violent against me, like attack me, drop me an object or something, because he was going really crazy, okay? And then he grabbed this and he was sending emails and calls to everybody, and then crazy stuff. But the problem was not this occurrence. The problem was the reaction, okay? That's why the lawsuits that I mentioned roughly to you guys, the lawsuits are against Valai Limpiscal. She's the sales export manager for Shiva Rice TMP. She's the one that produces this. Pintas, her colleague, okay, against probably the owners behind the scenes. It's against Jamie Williams and his family. They are the owners of the distribution company that we're selling this to Libya. It's against Alexandre Almeida. He's a slate manufacturer in Brazil, and also against Yuchana. She's the owner of a tuna factory, trading company there in Thailand, in Bangkok. And these are very serious lawsuits, because these went very over the limits, okay? It just follows the growth of my business and everything, but in this case it was really very, very dangerous. I have never been in such a dangerous situation. I was attacked physically in Dublin, Ireland, by this guy, okay, John Rafter, and his brother too, and other people. Crazy stuff. There would be I was even my car. I was driving, and then my car, they blocked my passage. There was an obstruction of travel. Like I'll be with my car, calling the police, and that's why they managed. But they were like, but crazy stuff, okay. And then I managed, okay, to go back to my office in Clonshop, in Dublin. Go back, and then. Okay, and then we go, and that was part of the physical attacks I had here. Italian you is like me as a person, okay, but crazy. I would never expect that, and then I was very surprised, and then then you go to the police, and what's this, what's that, and then you're like, why the Irish police didn't act, and then it's another ego. It's all legal stuff, okay, legal stuff. That's what I'm explaining. Legal stuff, it's the opposite of the internet, okay? The internet, 1 second you do, it's like fire. You can put fire in a place in one day, okay, but what comes after that, legal investigation, what happened, why the fire, you know, it's you talk about years, okay, and but understand that I am the victim, so I am the victim, so the victim means I am the one who is the victim, the target was me. And then, but then why I was a target? Because of this again. Because there was lots of people from Libya talking over the phone. There was a lot to John Raptor, who was my employee. He was our sales agent, whatever relationship, but he was working for me. I was training him. I was paying him. I was training him to do sales. Why? Because I didn't have time to talk to everybody. He was doing a good job. But then at some point he just goes crazy. Then like it's out of control. He creates a Gmail account to do whatever, and then I see he's making phone calls on the side, like who are you talking to? And then it goes out of control. I do not know. There is on all the investigations that I'm putting also everything together. There was a guy in Orlando that has a company with a big name. Usually companies with big name is a red flag. Okay. It was Global Trading Commodities, Orlando, Florida, and you're like, wow, that's such a big company. And like, it seems he was the one, and then he contacted the Wisconsin finest, and then they made side agreements. It was horrible. All the documentation came to me. And basically, the Williams, they just did money laundering, okay? They just had $3 cash back on the shipment. And this thing comes to me, and I'm the one who needs to fix it. But that comes to me after like 1 year of negotiations between them, whatever, something that I was not aware, and they come to me to say, like, since then, the whole thing just blows up and falls down, and then like it's what's going on. And then at the same time, I see that's on the lawsuits against them. I was like, why in 2011 I went to this company, Whitehall Specialties in Wisconsin, to buy cash $5 million worth of cheese, like cash. That's just a simple pay ship to Libya, because that was 2011, 12 was just wire transfers, and actually he would make wire transfers of $300,000 to me, $400,000 to me. Pay ship was all normal. And then why they said no, why they had to twist the whole thing around and make it this fiasco, okay? They made me work for 6 years. This company, they approached me in Dubai. I was not selling the cheese anymore. And then they went to Dubai. I was at the trade show in Dubai, and they approached the sales guy who was working there. My cost, my payments, the whole thing. And then they go there and they offer this opportunity that we should sell this cheese. And then from there we take this contract. Again, I go physically to this factory, this distribution company in Texas several times. We start doing the business or something. For this, once we reach $6 million, $5 million on sales, this is what they do. Then in America, say they show their true colors. They show who they really are. And then is when I went to Dallas. Okay, all this mess of last year, I went physically to Dallas myself personally and met them there. It was awful. Okay, it was horrible. I was victim of slandering and defamation against me, to myself. It seems like they had no other choice but to do fraud to me, trying to maybe brainwash me that I should, also I'm this person, because they start talking about me. They said things like about my citizenship status in the USA, that I'm not American. They said that I'm horrible with the letters of credit. I do not know how to work with letters of credit. They said they were selling like a fraud, which was like, oh, I have nothing to do between you and John, and like, but this is October, and you have official documentation that it just explains that John Raptor does not work for me. We're not working or whatever association. We have no association since June or July. It's like 3 months later, and you keep mentioning this man. What game are you playing? And then, but still was a dangerous situation. I had threats. He threatened me that he would put me in jail in Texas. And he said, "Oh, I hear in America I can put you in jail in 1 day." And I was like, wow, like, and then I even explained that he came to this status in the USA, if I'm a citizen, not a citizen. I mean, look, it comes to that point, I come to now that I have to explain, okay, I am on a business level, maybe on a higher status than an American citizen, because I am an investor in the USA. I am a foreigner who established a business in the USA. So I'm an investor. I went to the country to give jobs, not to take jobs. With my own funds, my own knowledge, my own techniques, because I saw an opportunity. That's what business people do. And I do America for 20 years. I'm in the USA for like 1999, 20 years. At the end of the day, the country that I kind of relate more to as a person, no matter who I am, what I come from, what look I have, what document I have, is the USA. It's America, is the USA, because it's 20 years of my life associated somehow with America, myself. Before that, before these 20 years, because I'm 43, 99, so I was like 23 when I went first time to the, like 22, 23, I went to Texas as internship, myself physically. Before that, I would be very familiar with the USA. Number one, why? Because my father would work in Illinois, in Chicago, so he would go often there to the tractor industry. My father is an engineer, so he'll be in Illinois. So I had as a child, my father bring toys from Chicago, from Illinois, where I come from, the USA. So we had that presence. Then my father was in the Rotary International, it's an American institution, so we would be on the between Americans in Brazil. I was living in Brazil as a teenager, and I had lots of friends that they went to do high school in the USA, so I was in an American Brazilian environment as a teenager when I was. Then I went to school. I speak English since I was a child because my grandmother, she was Irish, so she would speak English all the time, and she had relatives in the USA. They moved from Dublin, Ireland, from here to Boston, to the USA, and then from Boston to Argentina, South America. They were Irish Argentinians, they are Irish, and they speak English. A lot of people in the USA are Irish and speak English. Another thing, the Italians too, on my mom's side, the Italians, a lot of Italians, they moved to Argentina and to the USA. So there's a lot of Italians in America, a lot of Italians in Argentina, a lot of Italians in Italy. So there is also, America is always there, because when my family moved from Italy to America, they think America, South America, it's all the same. So some of families, they would move to New York, others they would go to Buenos Aires. So my mom's side, they went to Buenos Aires, and their distribution, and they're from Genova, Liguria, Genova. Okay, so I have that. So at the end of that, I do relate to the USA. My English is American. Okay, I say I can. I don't say I can. Okay, so that's the country I relate more. I also relate more to Christianity. Most of Americans are Christians, so I can be talking about the USA for like hours, from the foundations, from Washington, from the Second Amendment to the Congress, to whatever, Florida, Broward County, everything. Okay, so, and I live there physically. Okay, but I'm just explaining all of this just because on this negotiation, when I was being looted and attacked and robbed, the whole thing by this company, in fact, I had this thing was brought up as an alibi to justify why I should be attacked and robbed. Like, wow. And then at the same time, I'm sorry I'm laughing, because I was like, but why? Why they are mentioning this? Why are we talking about my citizenship status and stuff like, why? And then because business people, we don't talk about, because we check the business, we see the company here. I mean, if you're on business and this is a company, there's a document, there's a shipping, there's a bank account, and then everything matches. LEGroup Industries, LEGroup account, LEGroup trademark, and then you have that's America's a serious country. Libya is a serious country. So big countries. Why? Because they're big. Big countries is very difficult. It means it has to be very strict because it's big. There's 300 million Americans, there's like 40 million Libyans. So it's like you have, talking about Libya and America, Brazil is also big. So when you see like this match is a big country. So like, why are you going, like, why my citizenship is obviously that I'm a legal person, that I'm signing documents, and I'm doing the customs. I do the customs. That's the most bizarre of this particular case, okay? My office in the USA, it's a Port Everglades, okay? And it says here on the bag, Port Everglades, Florida. It says here too. It says like, I show because it's like, Port Everglades, Port Everglades. This is a foreign trade zone. This is a foreign trade zone. This is a foreign trade zone. This is the port. My office in Florida is in the port. It's the port. It's inside the port. My office in Europe is a commercial. This is a city center. It's commercial. My office in the USA is inside the port. My office in the USA was in the skyscraper in Miami first, then I moved to a port, okay? For safety reasons, it was safer to be in the port. And it works, and I'm there, okay? I'm there for like, since 2013, so 6 years, Port Everglades. This Port Everglades, okay? And when you see some police reports, it's the police in Port Everglades. They know me, 5 years that I'm there, okay? So, I have the Border Patrol, the U.S. Customs, my office, the Exim Bank, the Department of Homeland Security. So it is a very strategic, very serious. To go to my office in the USA, you need to go through the police. There's the federal police. It's not local police, it's federal, nation police. It's the country police, it's federal. So it goes and you need to give your passport, you need to show your visa, you need to show, it's inside the USA. So let's say, when you travel to the USA, you go to the police in Libya, then they go check, and then you go to the USA. Then once you are in the USA and you want to see my office in me, you need to go again to the police. Because it's a port. So to go to the port, it's a port. So it's the same thing in Libya. It's like you're going to inside the airport, go inside the port. Like you need to go to the police again. And then the police is going to check. So it was good to be there. Because I had several cases in Miami of people who live in the USA that they would go to my office and they would check, oh no, I'm sorry, and they would just leave. And I was like, okay, that was a good one because that guy does not have documents. Because I cannot do business with people that do not have documents. So I cannot, that's another problem. Like if somebody wants to do is, I had one case, it was a guy from Peru that he was living in Miami, whatever. Now he went there to work and he didn't have his visa. Why? Because it's international. It's an international, there's money, there is business. So I cannot be working with people that do not have a legal status and stuff. It's the same thing in Europe, okay? You're legal, okay. So I'm just explaining that because this was brought up in this meeting when everybody took the decision to steal me. And then as well, like I'm like, why? This is going beyond the limits. That's impossible to control, and this is something that has to stop. And it costs a lot of money, it costs a lot of damages to everybody, it costs a lot of problems and damages to everybody involved. Everybody involved. So somebody did a quick money, but now, I mean, I tell you, now this whole thing came to a level that I do not see. I feel very sorry for the Williams, okay, that they own this company, but and then at the same time, I feel like this is not what I do. I don't create all of this to just keep sending people to jail, you know, because why? Okay, that's my question. Like, why? Why you need people like in jail? Like, why? What's the problem? But then it's like, everybody you talk in politics, there's a lot of crazy things going because of this again, and drugs. Okay, there is a lot of drugs. Oh, I have somebody calling me here. I need to answer this. Hola. ¿Todo bien? Así de largo fue. ¿Qué hora es allá? ¿Qué hora es allá? Te vas a dormir ahora que estoy terminando, estoy grabando otro video acá para unos clientes, los videos. Lo termino ahora y te llamo 10 minutos. Vale, hasta luego, chao, chao. So this is somebody. Okay, so I want to say something. Let's finish this. Okay, so again, I feel sorry about them. Okay, because it's been, I don't know. It's just like I've been in English we say overpowered. I'm doing this and then I'm overpowered, and then they just do random stuff and I'm here just watching the whole horror show. And then at some point there is several communications. If you guys can say this, and I'm saying this right now, this is the first time I really talk about this openly to you in Libya, because this is an internal problem here. So it's not in Libya. This is a problem. I'm focused, as you can see, my lawsuits is not against the clients, because my position is against my structure. It's about who was behind me. Like, I'm the face and I'm the one doing the whole thing and managing and shipping, explaining, training and paying and then doing, and then I have results in this, and then the things just go out of control. And that happened in this 4 cases that we're focusing right now. There's cases from 2016. When we lost Agustin as a customer, was this girl, that the one that caused problems in London. She caused problems everywhere. She sent invoices that was horrible. And then I had Agustin, and then that factory, they are out of business now. They are in a big trouble, and it's crazy. But they did this, okay? Another problem was the cheese. They did that in Texas, was horrible. That case is very bad. Okay, Thailand is the problem with Valai, Shiva Rice, and everything. We're talking with the Thai police, the embassies, and everything, how to get the problem solved. And now there's the problem with the rice in Brazil. Also, a new problem, which is the case today. With all the problems and everybody, and then I start December, January with the program for 2019, and that's why I think Salah, I think Al-Gheda, I think Omar, like we're done Abdus everybody working and trying to put everything on place. Al-Fayed, he was quiet, but he mentioned to meet him in Dubai in February or something, and then again everything established, guys. From December, we managed to do the first shipment in March. It was like 2-3 months of extensive negotiations. I was in Portugal with the producers of this rice. This is still packaging, okay? I have the packaging. It's in Portugal, the film, because I paid for the film. And the film is ready, and everybody loves the product. The manufacturer says that, wow, the product pops up, it's beautiful. I have the film, I have like 1 million bags of the plastic is already, the bobbins and everything, they're all ready. And then we 3-4 months. That's what talking to brokers, banker brokers, lawyer brokers, it's all just brokers. And I'm like, I just want to ship this, client payment, that letter of credit, I have a letter of credit in England, and we want to ship, pay, ship, and like brokers, and they keep going in circles, and we watch, what are the brokers talking about? Because it's not connected with reality. It's just move this rice from here, there's a payment here, and you just do the operations and bring me a solution. And then I'm talking to, but it's the brokers, and they kind of work. And there is a broker, he's in Portugal, was a banking consultant, okay? And that's why he said that to me, unfortunately. He said that the problem they have is that he cannot show empathy. As a broker, he works for a bankers in Portugal. And no, because if I show empathy, that's what he confessed to me. If I show empathy, I lose my job. and that means empathy. That means somebody that you go tell have a problem, and they say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I have a problem. Like, use my pencil for one day, and because you need to write, whatever." Oh, I stopped working. I'll teach you. That means empathy. That you have a connection with that case. It does not matter. It's like you put yourself in the position of the other person. And they say, "I can't because I will lose my job. I can't. So I just need to focus on materialistic things. This is my pencil. I need this pencil. This person can be explained to me for 1 year that he needs this pencil for 2 days. I am not going to lend this because it's my pencil. I need to write. It's going to be a problem. This person may not return this pencil." There's empathy. Another thing is that they said that the bankers in Europe and the bankers in America, they have no cash. That's why with the wire transfers, everybody went crazy. Okay, and that's what I don't know. That's the puzzle we have now. That's why I focus on the legal matters and the police and security to try to understand that people follow their contracts. They follow what we have to do instead of just having discipline, instead of just going random and doing crazy stuff. And they have no liquidity. That means that's why I tell you. I explained this. The word, but especially Europe and the USA, Brazil even worse, we are in a deep recession for 20 years, since 2001. We would say, 9/11 in New York City, those attacks, maybe since then, is a deep recession. But the deep recession is being very rough to work with the bankers because they have no liquidity. And then there was the 2008 crash, and that's what a problem, and that's also this in Portugal. They confirmed this to me and everything. Like the bankers, they have a lot of what they call property, which means objects. So it's all goes around objects. So they don't do the credit itself. So the banking system is locked on objects. So they are attached to a lot of objects, and they keep the energies on these objects, these properties that they have been harvesting in the last year. So they have entire buildings, palaces, churches, they have farms, they have you name it, they are owned by bankers. But now it's not that they're happy with that, because they want to do the movement of the economy. They can't, so they're stuck with all these properties that they call properties. During the 90s, we would say farms, churches, schools, hotels, cottages. There's lots of words. Now it's all property. And then, but the problem is, now that they own all these objects, they don't have liquidity. So they are trying to find a way to get a solution, but they don't. That's why they invested in cell phones, internet, and things, trying to do new inventions to really get rid of the problems they have, trying to create, but it's not working. It's getting worse. It got very worse. This has been a fiasco. The IT business has been a total fiasco. It's not profitable at all. It breaks all possible laws. They have mountains of lawsuits, so now they're even in worse shape than before. But they don't. So, but the thing is, the economy is like frozen. So every time we have a letter of credit, every time we have a wire transfer, it's a puzzle to work with the bankers and the attorneys to really come to a solution. So that's basically what the problem. So when I'm shipping and selling, at the end, I'm there again. Bankers, attorneys, bankers, bankers. And then they're talking in circles and circles and circles and circles. And then the last one I got from a banker was that cautionary credit deposit. That's just not credit. That's just it's called pawn. In English, we have credit and we have pawning. Okay, pawn, P-A-W-N. But pawn, a pawn is like this pen costs $30. So I need cash, so I will go to somebody and lose. Please give me $5. It's worth 30. They give me 5, and this guy gives. And I sign something that if I don't return this $5 in 1 week, he keeps the pen. This is called pawn, and that's the only option available in the market now. And then everybody. That's why it also justifies why this desperation. Why Valash used to be a serious girl. Why the Williams, they used to be okay. everybody just went crazy when they saw all these businesses that was generated to them, and they just took the chance to do what they did, and now it's going crazy. At the same time, the police and the tourists, they have so many cases like this that it's just the piles keeps, so, and the case gets worse, which comes with a lot of death. Okay, at the same time, all of this, you guys know this in Libya. Europe is dying, America is dying, Argentina is already dead. Like the whole civilization is just dying, dead, because we have all this, and time passes by, and this is like 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. It's possible that maybe America is going to continue to exist in Libya, but not in the USA anymore, because America is dying. Okay, it's another conversation, unfortunately. It's very sad. Okay, so based on realistically the situation right now of the businesses is, I have been for 1 year now strongly working on contracts, on legal matters, on security matters, because on structural problems with suppliers, with clients, because this has to stop. We can't manage millions of dollars and be like on this situation. The scenario is bad. Okay, you need to understand that the scenario is bad. There is some bubbles that they seem alright, that you see they're doing. Usually there's a lot of maquillage in the market. You go to London, they just change this entire building, but behind the scenes is bad. It's really bad. And so we are working, but again, it's bad on the banking level, on the legal level, and communications is also very bad. Nobody's really understanding what's happening in the market, because you watch the news, it's like, what's the reality? We have cases like the president of France, Macron. He's not the president. Donald Trump, he has power. He does have some power. He's not a total power, but he does have power. Okay. The president of Canada is, come on, Trudeau. I mean, who follows the United Kingdom? Boris Johnson, like everybody watches him, like, what does he do? Okay, like, and you have that all over the place. It's nothing particular against them, but it's something like, who does really have the power in those countries? We don't know. So this goes to the communications. They're just communicating something, but it's just make up. Okay, it's just a facade. It's a make-up. It's not really doing anything. They go, they do the mise en scène, and then they go back home, and they do not even, probably the next day, they just go, okay, what should I do today? And they have the list. This is what I have to do, and they will do. So they don't have any particular individual opinion or part. They're just actors. It's just acting. And they say those things, that they're just actors. Macron, the president of France, he was an actor himself. He started his career as an actor. Okay, so we just don't know. But I keep explaining general panorama so we do understand local problems, because they are more related to the panorama. And then that's what I'm doing when it comes to the shipments. So you have received it several times, which is the program. I am in extensive negotiations with bankers and attorneys to really come to a solution about the whole thing, and then come to a solution. But the only thing that I do ask is just to not really go crazy following the flow, because that just does not last. It just doesn't last. They may do that, and it's popular for a while. They will be sending all those fucking emails like everywhere. They'll be sharing whatever, and then they do this quick cash, and they disappear. In 1 year now, I'm still here, Salas is still here, Fayet's still here, Boben's still here, Alashuris is still there. We don't talk to him, but we need to know where it's him. And we keep our tradition, we keep our work, you know, and these things, they just go, because they are, at the same time, they're all related to this. They're not real. They're not related to this. And there's laws. I tell you, they're playing around with the laws, but these are very traditional, okay? Legal, banking, industry. They're very traditional industries, hundreds of years. The laws are very traditional. So they go, they do all this fancy thing, and then they go to jail. I have seen in Miami companies that they were shut down in 1 day. It just, police shows up, one day, all shut down. So this company, they all investigated Thailand, you know, this girl, you know, whatever. Like, and then is when I get mad because it's like, I explain, I explain, I say, and they just go and they do whatever they want, and then they cut me off because they want to save price and save costs, whatever, they discount, and then they go and they do all of that, and then like, does not work like that. This does not work like that, and then everything comes downhill. I need to start everything. But I don't say we're starting from scratch. Just say that everything's here, the package and everything, and we keep negotiating. The only things that I have to make you guys understand is that to make things decent, you guys need to understand costs. This is I have been explaining to you several times. So to make this, and you need to understand 5 years of business for this to be profitable, because this is it's a daily basis shipments. We pay ship. So there is an entire logic. So there is an entire cost that involves safety. So this has to be solid and organized to be attractive. So I need to really create. This is why I have seen so many offers, and I say let's create. For example, the fund here, I manage this because I said there's one of the solutions. I can do what ABC banks, but the opposite. I can do on the production side. You gotta have total control of this, which means you send me the letters of credit and then I manage the funds, and then I manage the payments and the things on my side. Why this has to be Libya? This is what I believe, okay? On this market, the problem is always Libya, because that's where the money comes from. That was, I believe, the banking has to be associated with Libya, because who is more interested on the letters of credit to be processed and paid and everything than yourselves? So if Salah has the possibility to send all the wire transfers, so I keep the money of Salah here, and then I get Abdul, they all send Fayed, they send their letters of credit, and then I ship and we make a group that everybody receives the products, and then we go from there. This has to be related to Libya, because Libya is the one that's more interested on all of this. This is for Libya, number one. The second thing is other solutions was the contract that we have a contract, an agreement that will be shipping to you for 3 years, and then you are not going to talk to anybody else. Do not go desperate and make calls. Stay with me, focus with me. Don't forget this. Don't use this, because it goes crazy. And then me, everybody, because I will forward to you. I've done this several times. How many times I sent contacts for you to talk? How many times? So please talk to him. Several times. Just because we need some stability. It's called even stability fund, the funds that they're doing there. Stability, so we control that we just produce and ship. Because it's just something that cannot, it does not work to be really random and trying to renegotiate every time, okay? So, this, because I need to set up this on a very attractive and low risk situation that everybody can be involved, because I cannot involve. That's also why I say it has to be a Libyan related fund, maybe Tunisia to other countries. But the thing is, because anybody else wants to be involved with a problem that comes from Libya, so the risk has to be in Libya, so you guys control the market there, that I know that nobody's going to talk. And then on my side, I control the suppliers. But I tell you, the reason of this happened is because of this pressure. These people, they end up talking to other people in Libya. So to understand, I'm just explaining why. Because these guys are going to jail now. They're going to family, Williams, whatever. They're going to be arrested. They're going to jail because they committed felonies. Okay, they did money laundering. They did crazy stuff. But why? Because Libyans contacted them, and they went there, and in criminal law it's called passive corruption, active corruption. So Libyans, they started calling them and overflowing them with contacts and something. And there was this guy in Orlando who I think is married to an American girl or something. And then they insisted and they insisted, and that's active corruption. Then one day they said, oh, Agustin's not America. Oh, okay, so that was an alibi, and that's passive corruption. And then they did, that's corruption. And then you have also the money laundering, everything that comes as a combo. It's a combo. The money laundering, the cash back, the $3 they put there and here, the gardens that they probably bribe. There's Tuna. She fired Narimon. Narimon was the sales girl that she would take care of my account. Once she was serviced with millions of dollars on sales of tuna, and Narimon was the one who she fired her. And so now Yuchan is going to be is responding already, because it was already reported to the Thai embassy and everything. So to the authorities about why did she fire somebody, why did she did that, why Yuchan went to Dubai, for example. She has this, and then why she went to Dubai. When I met her, she said they changed the stories because Specialties was not doing business in Libya at all when we started doing business. And then once we had the results, then we met Yuchan, and she's like, in Bangkok, in Thailand, she's like, oh, I know Libya do business for them all the time, and so all business is just crazy. But anyways, that's why just control there and stick and do respond my emails. And then there is the program. Okay, we have the program. We should be shipping $3-4 million of American cowboy. We should be shipping $1 million of royal green. We should be shipping this. This is made in New York State. It's a very high quality evaporated milk. And then why we just don't do this? Why so many years? Okay, and also because I'm explaining the problems of the market here, because that way we can match the problems here, the problems there, and we have a solution, and we just do our job, which is international, which is connecting countries, which with all the chambers of commerce are for, all the embassies, the diplomacy, everybody likes all this, the good thing about greeting each other, different countries speaking languages. Oh, look at that, in Libya they don't produce rice, they import the rice. That's a beautiful thing to talk about. And then people are eating, it's America. People like the good things in the United States, is the American cowboy there, the royalty of the royal green. And so we just stick to that simple life, because it's been too much in 2018, especially too much, and the market is difficult. But okay, so just stick to my emails, okay? Stick to what I ask you to do, okay? I have the program. I'm working now 2020, which means about 100 containers of the American Alfala, about 20-30 containers of the cowboy. There's also the medium grain, which is this one, the medium grain. There's the long grain, the parboiled, and then the tuna, okay, the Marisol, the tuna. It's a big market too. Cheese, we're not doing this anymore. I mean, this is, I'm waiting for the authorities to come to a conclusion about what to do with this problem, because I tell you, this cheese, and I finish now this video, okay? There's two problems with this cheese. One is all the corruption, the money laundering, all the financial crimes they've been committing and everything, okay? That makes us wonder, what does Wisconsin finance cheese, American finance, what's behind the scenes, if they are really cheese distributors or not, because why they did the whole thing last year against me and my clients. And then that's one thing. Another thing is the cheese itself, because then it comes about the price and the cost. And then at this stage of this now, I wonder the entire, and how they behaved in these 7 years is like, why they didn't ship the cheese straight away from Wisconsin when we were paying cash and with no letters of credit and anything. Why this cheese is for 2 years here and it doesn't go bad, and then at the same time, is this really cheese or not? Because I tell you, I sold so much of this because I was going by the good aspects of it, which means this cheese lasts longer. This cheese, if you have a problem with electricity, it is, you still can have it. There is diabetes. It does not for cholesterol. So there's and the price is cheaper than the real cheese, the one that's just milk. Usually cheese, when you read, it says contains milk, and it's cheese. And then, but then now, based on how this industry operates, if they do this on finance, if they do this in banking, if they do this on legal, if they take the balls to really cut off the border patrol, like I'm the guy who does the customs clearance, and they just dump everybody, and they just do whatever they did. I wonder what's the cheese itself, because there is even in the USA as well, and that's why I go back to the price, okay? Because there is cheese, real cheese, it looks like that, it's the same cheese, it can be adapted or something, but when you read the ingredients, just say contains milk and enzymes, the two ingredients, and salt maybe, that's it. It's processed, same packaging and stuff, but it's just simple cheese. It lasts 3 months. The thing needs to go quick. So that's why I also now, based on the whole thing, I'm wondering what's the cheese, okay? Because maybe it's maybe even a case that even the cheese itself has to be not to be produced anymore, you know, because it's damaging the cheese industry, not only on the paperwork stuff, but also on the product itself, because this is not real cheese, but it's taking the market of real cheese, and then you have real cheese with real farmer. But that's another conversation which I'm not familiar much, but I'm just saying that I'm a bit scared of this now. Okay, all the other products I do is all natural. This is just tuna and water and oil. This is just rice, and that's it. And then so they're all like simple. And then I have that is like it's this imitation cheese, and I don't know. So I'm just a bit very shocked about how the whole thing has went to, and why this product's inside the plastic bag. As you see, like as an evidence of criminal activity conducted against me and everything. And if of the investments, okay, and marketing, if you see on this advertising, the cheese is here. Again, this cheese was going to be American Cowboy, and we did it of American Finest and Wisconsin because we were forced to. It was not my request. We were forced to. They forced me, and they said all these good things about it, and then this is how the story goes. Okay, so again, like we're waiting for updates, and the only thing is just be very focused on what we do, and then we will go with the whole solution. But I need to really format of this that is a good, trustable, and solid business of several years. So you need to really focus on that. I have meetings in Italy, okay? For example, Italy, okay? You guys know I am Italian and I parlo italiano fluente. Io sono italiano e parlo italiano fluente come locale, come nativo, l'italiano. E io ho delle riunioni anche in Italia, in italiano. So in Italy we have rice. I can produce all of this in Italy. I can produce all of this in Piemonte, near Milan, Genova. I can produce that in the rice there. We can do cheese and everything. So, but I have to just format it that you guys understand. For Italy, is cheaper. The freight is very cheap. It's only 1 week, few days. It goes from Geneva, But we need to have the whole thing organized on a way that it makes sense that we just do normal business. Okay, so one of the things is that is the economical aspect, because I have to sell something good. And when I say something good, I'm just saying my association with manufacturers, because I had like all my associations, they were just flushed away of the toilet last year with all the attacks and the whole thing, and I've been all this year, and then again I had more problems this year. But a lot of it comes from Libya, because people from Libya are using the phones and calling everybody and doing crazy stuff. I have Abu Bent, like I don't even know, like they created the garden rice, and I have clients, they call me and they want to buy a garden rice, and I'm like, they should be, what should I do? And they, Salah, he wanted to buy the best rice, he was ordering 5 containers, 10 containers, then the supplier is not talking to me because Fayed is doing whatever there, so That's what I'm saying. Okay, so just be very disciplined and do respect, because at the end of the day, everybody loses money. Everybody loses money. So, for example, when and be careful, don't talk to these people over the internet like George Suarez. I know he's calling Salah, and he called Salah like to say what? Another problem is that we have a lot of solutions and we have a lot of things, but then everybody in their minds like, oh, but I have the phone number of Salah. I will make a call and I'll make a deal. You know, like, and it's a mess. It's a mess. Okay, so just so to finish this, just stick to what we have. Okay, everything is very successful. Most of the problems are on my side, because the fact that clients, they want to do business and more clients, it's okay. I can manage that. But you are the distributors in the country, so you guys need to understand that all these leads, they need to go back to you. So when somebody calls me and I say, no, you go back there, you go back there. So they just come to me, they want to buy the rail grain, I say stop. And then I say, go back to Algeda, buy there. You want to buy the cowboy, stop, go there, buy from Salah. You buy the best rice, stop, go there, buy from Fayed. Okay, so you just stop and you go this, and we continue doing our work, because we cannot. It's a lot of cost and time to really be recreating things. And then, with this thing being organized, I can make the suppliers respect the contracts, because it went just out of control last year, and then but at the same time, they decided to break the contracts. Now they're paying the price. They made some quick cash, whatever, but now they pay the price. Very likely jail. The way things are nowadays, I feel sorry for Valai, I feel sorry for Tuna, I feel sorry for the Williams, I feel sorry for Alexander in Brazil. There's no other way to solve, because this is one full year of negotiations, and that's, I tell you, going back to legal stuff, there is this process of legal and civil negotiations. It's been one full year. Emails, visits, and calls, and complaints, and this, and they keep going, they keep stealing, and they keep going. Okay, there was a client from Texas that she sent a message through a local legal court in Texas. It's called Better Business Bureau, and she confessed that she did $300,000 shipments between Texas and Brazil, and it's like, and you're like, why? And then I'm not involved. I'm the one who created the whole thing, and I'm not involved. Actually, the opposite is slandering, defamation, accusations, and that's just stealing. That's just stealing. It's a white collar level, but it's stealing. So, and so I'm just saying that they are punished, because again, this is international. This is not a lot of confusion. I tell you. International is more strict than domestic. So before we finish this, if somebody in Libya has a problem with another person in Libya, like a supermarket and another supermarket in Libya, it's less complicated that somebody in Libya does that in the USA, in USA, Libya, because it's international. That involves a lot of more stuff. Because there is, where is the money, where is this? It goes to presidents, to diplomacy, the embassy. They want to know like everything. So by the fact that there's this big red flag of a supplier who decided to go random and do business with Dubai, Bahrain, or whatever, and all the authorities, they want to know what they're doing. They want to know everything. There's suspicious, there's red flags about everything. Like, for example, Valai. Why Valai has a company called Shiva Rice and a company called TMP Rice Mill? Why she has two companies? So they want to know. Also, the reputation of Libya gets even more complicated and makes more difficult. That means people will start to charge more expensive to do business with Libya, because the risk of Libya is high, because Libyans, they have no discipline. Libyans will be calling everybody, and they'll be doing all of this. And then it's kind of the borders that get more restricted, more controlled, and you come, and then you have sanctions, and then you have embargoes, like for example Brazil. Brazil is a red flag country. Okay, a lot of times Brazil, because it's dangerous. Brazil is dangerous, so they would always try to block Brazil, to put sanctions in Brazil, because Brazil can go really crazy. So then put sanctions, controls, and limits, and then embargo. They say embargo, sanctions, because it's always a country that's always getting into Libya also. They're always trying to put limits, because but it's not because of Salah, it's not because of Mohammed, it's not because they're small, it's because in general it's called, I tell you, the frequency. When there is so many people doing bad things or crazy things, and even if there is some that are good, then there's some that are good, they have to be protected and respected, but still they are in this mess, so it's very hard to really only protect those if there's so many people doing crazy stuff. Like Malta, another problem, like was this guy Al-Turki, Mohammed Al-Turki. He went like crazy, but crazy, and then that guy in Malta, and I like, when Malta is a problem now, why Malta is allowing Libyan citizens? His father tried to go to Malta, he couldn't leave Libya, they didn't give him the visa. So like, those things that we all know, okay? But so just focus, okay? Let me know exactly the total orders for 2020. I've been asking this for months, so we have the contract. Stick to that, and let me finish the negotiations. Unfortunately, I tell you, I have no words really to say what happened in Brazil this year. The only thing is that unfortunately it comes as the whole story has developed, that unfortunately they were tempted by the possibility of using the phone and calling the clients direct, and they did that, and that's the only reason why they didn't ship the 200 containers. That's the only reason, because they're like, oh, just call the client direct, and they tried to do this, and was the only reason, because we were like, why? Why they just didn't ship all the containers straight away? We had the problem this year too with a company from Brazil, a sugar company, and they also did something similar, and it was horrible. But then why we buy Brazil? Brazil has good product, Libya has good market. The product itself, like this, okay, it is a good product, and I have good people. I have good people that work there. I have family in Brazil, and like, this is a good product, okay? I mean, like, why we just can't ship? Why every time we ship it goes so random, okay? Because the product itself is good, it sells well, it's a good product. When you find it up, it looks beautiful. There is all the work, and like, why you just don't ship? I have clients that they do ask for the product. They want to know what happened, why they don't see the product there, and not that they want to buy, they just call me as a friend. They want to know, because they say, oh, I used to see your products in the supermarkets, where are they? And then like it's this, that we don't even know, or it's just crazy, local, the word local, crazy. So all right, so look, very good talking to you. It's 2 hours, and I hope you guys understand everything and just answer the objectives of what we are saying, and I'll let you know. But I need really to know what to work, so which means the project. I know it's about, so I'm negotiations, but we need to leave the finances ready, that we follow the letters of credit very peacefully, how we always do, and confidentiality. We'll try to, if you see, I've done documents by hand now. I'm not using the computer anymore, as less as possible. I do emails, but there's attachments, and it's all handmade, and I write them straight away, and I scan, and I put my signature, even on simple letters now, okay? So it gets very well and serious and respected. That's a genuine document. That's not counterfeit. It is more difficult, okay? Okay, so have a good day there, and inshallah, things go get all right, and 2020 a good year. I talk to suppliers all the time from all over the world, and then associations, there is associations, okay, but the problem is not the factories, it's not that, the problem is not the product, everything I do that is this agreement with the bankers and the attorneys to really come to a logical, simple solution for the letters of credit, the payments that you just pay ship, but we can do an organized method of work, okay, that involves taxes, finance, legal. There's a lot of intellectual work behind the scenes that I try to explain in different languages, okay? The translators, that's translators, you guys know there's translators. You guys know our products, they follow all the standards, okay? Our products, they have all the nutrition facts. It has the certifications, okay? This is the certifications, the GMP, you know, these are the barcodes, the translations is in different languages. It follow rules. It follow rules, like this is a Thai rule. You see, it has Thai in Thailand here. It's Thailandese, Thai language. Okay, the brand trademark. It says, you know, registered. You know, the trademark. It's registered. It's pounds and kilograms. The expiration date, the FDA, the whole thing. It's a food business. Okay. So look, nice talking to you, okay, and inshallah things will be all right, okay, and very good next year, okay, very good, no more dramas, no more problems, okay, please, okay, salam alaikum, shukriya, okay, salam alaikum and shukriya.